Walmart, like, gotta be like,
No. What do you mean I'm still on quarantine? No, nigga, I work like
niggas
damn
making
near every
butter.
day.
Huh?
I said I work every day.
Yeah, I know. But I was just like, you started all your culinary shit when you was on lockdown, so I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he still got his mind in that. It was just like good. If you picked up a skill during this time, then please.
Yeah, you know.
It seems like shit's getting back to full swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one gives a fuck. Just put your mask on.
Hey, America.
Yeah, I mean, look, man.
Out here.
So where y'all want to start today? Because we got like a myriad of topics we could discuss.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Apology
like
we need to talk about.
what apology?
Tory.
Oh, we can start with this bum ass nigga Tory. All right, so let's go ahead and get it rolling. Welcome back to the TWEOM podcast. I'm your host Joe Morris. Oh, my bad.
Chef.
Welcome back to the TWEOM podcast. I'm your host Joe Morris.
Poppin', it's your favorite host, Louis the 15th.
And it's your other host, Walt Red.
Did that on purpose.
Yeah. So you on the bottom.
Niggas.
Yeah.
Hey. I will rise again.
Yeah, man. Shoot, yeah. All right. So, Tory Lanes, I've seen the video.
Tory Lanes. Hey, look, we've all been there, right? Just a little too schmizzed.
Yeah,
you know,
just pull out the glizzy and get the
sideways, and then hey, look, she wanted that mustard.
Honest to God's truth, though, I have literally been there.
Yeah.
Like, you got your gun. I'm not saying out of anger that you shoot someone, but I'm talking about just being drunk and shooting a gun, like dumb shit. But come on now, Tory. Like, to me, but this isn't Tory. This is leaked text messages from supposedly when it initially happened.
Mm-hmm.
So culpability is what these were supposed to reveal, not necessarily any empathy, because I ain't really got nothing for this nigga Tory in this situation at all.
Like, I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Nigga shot it, but he's. Go ahead, Lou.
I was just gonna say, I'm just like, I just don't know why niggas be taking so long to just come out and just say some like simple shit. Like, I get it, you know, you was getting shitted on, but that's the perfect time to be like, yo, apology tour time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
My bad. As soon as it happened.
That's it.
Better hit that root. What's that root? That big ass thing. I'm sorry for 2004. Nigga, I'm sorry for 2020. I'm sorry for 2020. Oh.
Yo, that would be.
We all sorry for 2020.
Hey, you think Tory should remix it?
Yeah. Now I saw a meme earlier this week.
It ain't gonna help.
Hey, look, he better remix something, nigga. Better remix these text messages that leak. My thing is, I was listening earlier this week, and it was like Carlos Miller. He spelled out. He was like, he put 20, and then like wrote out 20, and then someone was like 2020 so bad, niggas going by his government name. He wrote this.
So the nigga wrote out 2020.
Yeah, he wrote it out, and like he's like, it's like 20 and 20. So basically, you wrote it out, and he then spelled out the last part of it, like read out the actual letter.
Yeah,
and he was just like, it was like 2020 so bad. This is going by his government day. I was like,
government.
Damn.
Yo, it's like whenever anybody refers to Future as Nevadius.
Right, that's so insulting.
Nevadius.
That's that nigga real name.
Right, like that's his actual name. It's just like, hey, yo, Nevadius is the don't call no nigga by his first name if he a rapper.
Exactly. Yeah, man, Aubrey. Yeah, niggas do that shit now with Drake.
Like, that's all disrespect.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, yo. Leonard, I remember Meek was up there. That nigga, look, Leonard.
But that was a funny one because it's like, hey, yo, how you go from that to Leonard?
Yeah, man, that's what.
Not even Leonard, Leonard.
Leonard.
McKelvey. Nigga last name is McKelvey.
McKelvey.
Leonard McKelvey.
Them slave boats is real. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier this week. I was like, all three of my names is from some slave shit.
Yeah.
And out the Bible. But anyway, so I guess we can move on from Tory because I don't know what it's like. A lot of shit been leaking this week about niggas. Like
right. Yeah. What's up with that?
It's America.
We could get 3 layers to. We could have the conspiratorial layer.
Because
that's the government calling.
Now it said potential spam with a call too, yeah.
Hey, look.
Watch
out, man.
I think the Supreme Court, like a court ruled that what Snowden revealed was illegal, what the NSA was doing, tapping phones and shit.
Didn't know that. They've been tapping niggas' phones though.
Yeah, I seen that. Joe Rogan reposted that thing on his Instagram.
Word.
Yeah, that shit. I think it was Joe Rogan. Maybe it's somebody else. But nah, man, it's just like I said. So, what we about to go into?
Anything that's been
the internet leaking shit on niggas.
Yo, it is. It's like Joe Budden got the leak this week. That he's still Joe Budden.
Right.
Joe Budden was yelling
every time.
Joe Budden was yelling at a woman. Joe Budden yells at everybody, bro.
Gotta come up. They always want to knock this nigga down. Like
literally, he literally. It's like at some point, it's I don't know what are the 3 layers of it because it's the conspiratorial nature of it, right? Which is they just try to drag, always keep niggas rotating negatively, and since social media is our new form of media. You know, you still got the niggas on nightly news getting handcuffed and dragged off on camera. We don't really watch local news. That's a different generation that they scare that way. Our news has to come through these blogs and like all these different sites on IG and shit or Twitter. And it's like, yeah, but they have like I'm supposed to like show a video of Joe Budden littering in the park. Give me another reason. No, give me another reason to be mad at Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Besides Joe Budden being Joe Budden. Joe Budden yells at everybody. Like
literally, have y'all never seen?
Yeah, but am I not going to assume that these people were in a relationship and never yelled at each other? I don't know if the audio revealed that he was like hitting. I don't know what it was. But if it was hitting her, I think it'd be a bigger surge against him right now than what we're seeing.
Right, but I mean, he spoke up against it, or at least like he clarified it.
Yeah, he did
on his show, and he was like, "Hey, like, yeah, we were yelling like we had fights because every couple has fights," and it's like facts. And he's like, "You had a broken nose or whatever because of X, Y, and Z. That wasn't me though." And like he was really clear about like the physical violence against her wasn't him, but any emotional, verbal, whatever like that, he copped to it. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, couples yell. I mean,
so hold on, she happened to have a broke nose at the time of this nigga yelling at her.
So, because this is all hearsay at this point.
Yeah.
Ed went on his podcast when she came from Vegas. She had a dude out there, whatever like that. He punched her. Right. And then she called him and was like, hey, X, Y, and Z. He went, he's like, hey, that's my girl, whatever. I care for you.
Yeah.
So when she was retelling this story, you know, she just omitted that one variable. It's like, yeah, you know, like I had a broken nose, like we fought, we this, we that. It's
they be omitting a lot of shit, yeah.
Exactly. And it's like that's a really important piece, because if you just say I had a broken nose, we fought, anybody that's not looking for the full story is just like, oh, Joe Budden punched her.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back, because I think if we're gonna bring this to a broader like range, we could say that we're talking about, you know, domestic abuse, right? Because Tory, Joe. Yeah. So I think the thread of this week has been clear. Niggas ain't shit. That is what's been trying to get ingrained in everything that we've been seeing coming out in this very succinct moment, in which you can say that, because I see a push from professional black men on many levels, from NBA to boardrooms, pushing and advocating for social justice reform, right? And now we have this counter to it where it's like, oh, let's bring back the fact niggas are people, and they all have the ebbs and flows, and they're bad people. And like I said, I don't know in terms of I don't like how like you can take for instance, Tory, like Meg told us what happened with Tory. Tory ain't said shit. So everyone took that little silence to put their own conjecture into it, and kind of you just see where the masses go. Many people was like, okay, well, we want to know what happened. Da, 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 da. Some people like us, we just want to know for the storyline. Like we just want to complete the thought of Tory shot Meg, and now we see the nigga said he was drunk, which is whack. But I get it if you drunk
plausible.
Doing dumb shit. Exactly.
Yeah, the plausibility of it is that okay, but it doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, but back if you go back to Joe though, that window of omittance when you don't tell the full details of the story and people can draw those pieces of evidence to make their own narrative up. Now that conjecture that we had with Tory that's coming from nothing comes from concrete or other pieces of evidence. So the conjecture can be a little stronger if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're just in our brain like, oh, wonder why Tory did it, and then it's like I said, a dumb reason, and then it goes, oh, okay, so she had a broken nose. Joe was yelling at her at the time for a reason that I'm sure wasn't explained. It may have been explained. You know, it's funny when you look at the video of Sin. It's like 9 minutes long. Go to the comments. You're like, I ain't watching 9 minutes of this. Well, in the previous video, they're like, Joe Budden ain't shit. I'm like, here she go explaining her side of the story. You in the comments saying, ain't nobody got time to listen to that shit. But if you go to the video of Joe, it's in the comments, Joey, you ain't shit, Joe Budden's trash. And I'm just like, this trend, like, are we not? I feel like we're in the Matrix at this point. Yo. Don't this shit like trend every
like quarter, like it's
like cyclical
like,
at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right, but it's also like
the shade room though.
It is the shade room. It is the
it's that conglomerate
brand.
Of all of them.
Yeah, it's all of them, but it's also like these people are still relevant. I mean, they were relevant 10 years ago when they were really getting their start, and this is when nobody was paying attention.
Yeah.
So now when we need a source because new things are slow to come out now, we can always go back to those old relics, and even if they have tried to change themselves for the better, we can still, or at least try to hold them to the standard that they
we talking about the shade room right now?
Not like the shade room using Joe Budden as an example of some past shit, because if they were to look at everything he's doing right now, I mean, it's admirable. It is. I mean, yeah, like he talks his shit on his podcast. Who doesn't talk shit on their podcast? It's your own podcast. His name is on the fucking thing, so he can talk as much shit as he wants.
I'm like, that's what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if the shade room or if anybody else wants to defame him because of his position now, it'd be easy to do so because there's evidence of his previous behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah, like with Tory, it was out of left field because all we've seen from Tory is him having a good time, him just trying to be the life of the
party. Did he have charges on something like this before that?
For gun charges, probably, but I mean, I'm not. Yeah, it's nothing like this extreme. It's like, he a rapper, he a musician, whatever like that. He got some gun charges, just them being, the man, pulling him down.
Yeah.
But with this shit, it's like we can't say anybody was at fault but him.
He shot.
But with Joe Budden, it's like, hey, X, Y, and Z happened, and this you said Sin before. Did Sin have a video that she popped up on? Because I was referring to Tahiri, but I mean,
I
feel like this is all gossipy shit.
So. Okay,
I thought it was Sin that had this video.
No, Joe has like a former girlfriend that he actually did like legit like hit her some years ago.
Well, he said the charges were dropped. He said,
I mean, honestly, guys, true. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be shocked if Joe Budden put his hands on a woman like.
No. And so he's talked about it before too. So
yeah, exactly. So I don't think that's like to me, I guess I'm sort of getting to like the how much of a fuck are we supposed to give? That's what I want to know about everything now. Like, I really want to know when I see things that are bad, how much of a fuck am I supposed to give? Like, and I give a fuck on the basic level. You know, oh dang, that's bad. That's a bad look. But then I also can see the other play at hand where I'm just like, okay, let's just run some more headlines of niggas doing things, and let's, you know, always make sure we keep that at the forefront of everything. I get it. Like we make a lot of money off our trauma in our culture. So always sort of showing bad things is kind of we get paid off of pain. We all have a pain hustle. Like if you're someone in a relationship and you got to go on a reality TV show to meet a therapist and Love and Hip Hop, that's pain. Like that's a lot of.
That's literally it.
Yeah, you know. So we hustle pain in this country. That's what we hustle. We hustle. Like it's happening right now with white people co-opting the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like it's the pain's real. Let's not say it's not real, but we I don't know. Is this I guess it's lemonade. We make lemonade. It's not always good lemonade. Sometimes it's Four Loko.
That ain't lemonade.
Hey, look,
that ain't lemonade at all.
It's sad on the can. On the can, it say lemonade flavor on the can.
That ain't no damn lemonade, ain't it?
But it's on the can though. It's on the can.
It's on the
no.
But the price is on the can though.
Well, I'm just saying though, man. I just genuinely feel like the shade room is Four Loko and lemonade, but it's like, because like I said, I don't really want to know. I don't like the fact that Joe is in his house, really probably on a serious level right now, wilding out, like stressed out over this shit again.
Yeah, no, he did not sound good.
Yeah, and any women that are previously been abused about him, now people start to go like, hold on, what do you mean about Joe Budden? I didn't know he did this. Because there's always somebody finding out something every day for some weird reason. Even though some shit should be known.
Finding out some old shit.
Exactly. Some nigga always, like, some nigga, like, I get how Christopher Columbus just showed up with all these found shit. It's like, niggas think every day they just discovered some shit. So it's like, but I don't know. I think to a point where I'm like I said, because I think also the women that he may have done something to in the past, now they get the shit dragged back up. You know, and then they become highlighted again because someone's saying, read this article about what happened to this woman, or read this one time in the 90s or the early 2000s. And so now you start to get them to relive their trauma as well. And really, it's only substantial for us to get 15 seconds of reading some shit so we can get entertained going to the next slide. It's kind of wild. Like, you know,
for clicks, man.
Yeah, because think about it. The new season of Love and Hip Hop was outright canceled. Right, so if it wasn't, then we would have gotten. If COVID didn't happen, we would have had new episodes of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, LA, New York. We would have had Black Ink Crew, New York and Chicago, Real Housewives.
You watching these shows, Walt?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's reality TV right now.
Yeah.
I was just genuinely asking. I was like, you watch this shit?
I watch it with my cousin occasionally, but it's not like I'm there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm glad we had a window where those couldn't exist.
Right, you know, and now we see where it is. Now we just got to go back to the old shit.
Yeah.
Because even when the whole Tory thing was happening, people were looking at Chris Brown and he's like, yo, don't bring that my way. No, I'm trying to reform my life.
Happens. It's this.
That's exactly how it be.
It's this echo chamber.
Man he's sitting Safo on by himself. He just reading a fucking book.
Exactly. He's like, I'll just picture this nigga by the pool reading a book.
Right.
Girl next to him. Chris. Now Chris got a whole girl next to him. He's just like, she's like, I can't believe this, Chris. I had no idea. And this is just like, he's like,
she must have been born in the 2000s.
He throws his book down. He closes his book and just puts it down. And he's for some reason reading Charlemagne's book. But anyway, it's like,
that's what every nigga reading right now.
Yeah, for real. But nah, man. So like I said, but this is the reason why it's an echo chamber, right? When it's an echo chamber and it goes out, it echoes. So that means if you in a region and you got some heat on you for doing some similar shit, they coming at you.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's you gonna catch a bullet by proxy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, do you have and then it's like, and these niggas even make a song together. And so now like they're gonna take the one track Chris and Tory did together, drag through it, find those couple of lines where these niggas possibly linked up at the middle of the night and beat 12
Right.
women for fun.
Somebody's gonna say that.
Exactly, but that's what it turns into. It's like, I don't know, man. You read these whole deep dives, and I think we were talking about this earlier when it's like what, like the narrative that you could get attached to you for something that you did, and that shit is like, I don't know, man. It's a scarlet letter, right? It's
No,
like,
literally. I'm just like, can you ever really move on past some fuck shit you did years ago? Because at some point, like, somebody gonna bring up.
I think if you did it while you're a celebrity, no. Because case in point, Brandy.
What happened with Brandy?
Oh, you don't know what happened with Brandy?
Refresh my. I probably do know, but I literally forgot.
what happened with Brandy?
She got into a car accident a few years back.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Exact.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, see, literally, I'll be
We
forgetting.
already know. That's it. But we still hold her to it, or at least like we still attach it to her.
she killed somebody, right?
Yeah, Matthew Broderick is the same way. We still attach, and that happened like 2000, maybe in the 90s. Like it was.
Honestly, bro,
it's
I
been
watched
years.
all of. I tuned into some of that verses. I wasn't thinking about none of that shit when I saw
That
Brandy.
has literally not been a headline for so long.
No,
that I
it hasn't been a
forgot.
headline.
Well, black women never catch it like we do.
No, but it can be again though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She did
the
some
thing.
other fuck
No, it is true. I think I've seen it mentioned. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know if you may have mentioned it last week when we was on this podcast, but when we talked about the verses, but
Yeah.
I have heard it mentioned recently. So like I said, once I get it, like you pop up and okay, so that's why she was mad humble.
Also,
Yeah.
before, so I'm pretty sure she don't want no.
No,
smoke.
because I saw it and I was like, Monica had diva energy and Brandy really didn't. She kind of had a very humbled and appreciative nature. There's nothing wrong with it. It was beautiful too.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like, but I understand like, but I think I would have liked the performative nature of diva type of thing, you know? Because when the men were getting together, they like, yo, man, remember this shit. Remember this
Look,
joint, like,
I think the diva thing was happening too, but Brandy was very what do you call this? She's like a sharp knife.
well, she can't say that because as soon as she say something, people in the comments like, watch Brandy, she about to leave angry in the car.
Sorry.
Hey yo.
You know, Dave, well, he's gonna find a comment like that. Nigga. Like, you want to find it in that comment section, you can find it. And if it ain't there, you
Somebody
welcome to
hide
put
the
it there
keys.
yourself. Yeah, man. If it's not in the comment section, you are welcome to write it in yourself, nigga. Yeah, man.
Yo, it's bad fucked up.
Yeah, it is, man.
But that's what it is.
But that's the
like,
world we live in.
It don't matter
Facts.
what kind of celebrity you are. If you do anything sideways, people are going to bring up your past like that.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? It's ironically, I think as a celebrity, you should be appreciative for anything that diminishes your fame, but doesn't hurt your business. Because the fame is kind of an addictive thing.
That's a very thin line.
No. What I mean by that is this, right? When there's people who have a strong disdain for you because of an action that you did, it kind of forces you to insulate yourself with people who only want to really get to know you as a person. Because there'll always be that narrative that can be associated with you. So there'll be vultures who try to take advantage of those situations and put themselves in a position where it's like Kevin Hart cheating. So you got this whole people who put this whole thing orchestrated around him to catch him cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a pinpoint to put to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but now you're working in that narrative space where it's like, okay, we know Kevin went on the whole Breakfast Club. I'm good. I'm a healed man. And then 6 months later, and wife pregnant. So it was everything with Kevin, but we knew that it was orchestrated though. You know, so you'll have those people come around, but I think it forces you to tighten your circle. And what I mean by when you're famous, like on like a Kevin Hart level, Joe Budden level, it's like, I don't know. I think you kind of don't mind having a little bit of that withdrawal from people who genuinely just don't want to come around you because they will be influenced by public dealing with you privately. You don't want people in your life who, if 50 people can say something bad about you, but they know you wholeheartedly, but those 50 people can still change their mind about you. You don't really want that in your life, especially when you're that famous. So I think in a way, I know they don't appreciate it in terms of, you know, seeing all the negativity online about them, but I think it's better for them in terms of us also seeing them as just normal people.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to get brought up. Like, for instance, you know, if you did some fucked up shit with somebody, when you around them, you ain't going to bring up that thing that you did.
Right.
That was fucked up. But if they really don't fuck with you, they gonna always be like, "Oh, remember that one time Joel was over here," and they might even bring it up in a joking manner, but they really just, "Oh, you still really salty about that shit?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, remember when you blew in my bathroom and broke my toilet?
Yeah. So like I said, you're still gonna get that from friends.
You still ain't pay me back.
It's like you still gonna get that from friends, Joe. And it's like,
yeah, right.
Exactly. Yo, remember that time at $5 and sheets, nigga? Like, you still gonna get that from your homies. So I don't think you want that from like random, like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just, you don't mind having a way, you don't want all of that love, yo.
Yeah.
Like, Taylor's appreciative of the fact that she's not fully beloved, because look what happened with Bieber. He was beloved by all. And the kid almost went crazy. Because when you beloved by all, they'll let you walk over, they'll let you do whatever you want to do. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you don't have any checks and balances on yourself. Like right. Joe Budden, I'm pretty sure part of Joe Budden had to become a better person because it was hurting that perception of himself. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but yeah, I don't know. What you want to say, Lou?
I was just gonna say, it is when you do some fucked up shit, it is amplified, it is worsened when it clashes with what your media or your public persona is. Like, you brought up Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was the not clean-cut comedian because he be cursing like a motherfucker. He was that, like, family man, like, yo, my wife is my rib, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love her. And then you get caught. He literally used to say that shit all the time. And then he get busted, like, twice. Same thing with Cosby. Like, it. So that's why I'm like, one thing Charlamagne the God always be saying is like, yo, live your truth, son. Like, if you gonna be a dirty ass nigga, like, it really doesn't help to try and cover up the fact that you're a dirty ass nigga. Like, just be out here, just living your dirt. You know what I'm saying? I think a while back we had a convo about like, oh, exactly, yo, like Future could have another baby mama right now. We just be like, okay, but that's Future. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a convo a few episodes back about like, oh, if we become famous, what's that one thing that's gonna come out? I'm like, yo, look, son, look, man, I ain't worried about nothing really coming out because I'm just out here. It's like, I'm the same person on this podcast.
I don't really think it's even that's coming out. I think it's more like the act of something, like you doing something regrettable at a time when you just like, maybe you like, maybe, I don't know, sometimes I'll be driving around this neighborhood and these little kids run around. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, what if they just one of them just rolled out on a bike and I just hit one of these little kids? Like, you know, I'm not going to put that into you, not going to wood. Exactly, but that's something where later on, but I'm just saying, those are like kind of those things we're talking about where it's like, now I don't think people will assume that motherfuckers was in their whip trying to hit kids in their whip. I would like to think. But like I said,
about Joe Morris, he's such a disgusting animal.
But then later on, let's say down the line, I hit a kid. I punished my own kid. I like spanked him or something. People say, "Oh my God, he's a child abuser. He's murdered children before." Like, you could just have it go any way for you. Like, and the blog's going to get the right. Like I said, narratives is going to get written. Like, it's what it is. It's the world of narratives. Like, what do you want to believe about a person? That's why I'm like. That's why I take any animosity towards a public figure with a slight grain of salt, because I understand that it's coming from whatever narrative you're consuming about that individual. Like, and, you know, even to the macro level when it comes to people like Trump, like the narrative I'm assuming from Trump is close to reality as possible, because you take in all forms of media and you see him and how he presents himself and what he's doing policy-wise. There's a way to vet.
He's living his truth, bro.
Yeah, there's a system of account. There's a system to track the accountability of that type of public figure, a politician. Now, does that system always work for us? Obviously not.
No.
But we can track it. You know, you can't really track the system of accountability for Joe Budden when this type of stuff happens, right? Like, you can assume that there's a business deal he might not get, and that's what I think, and that's what people were saying with the Spotify stuff. It's to make it, it's to take his. It's like, no, nigga, you was getting that lower tier money because you like we work with you, you women abuser. Like, you know, you're trying to, you know, don't be over here thinking you deserve the world when you should be happy with these. We should be happy with these scraps.
Crumbs.
These crumbs.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of and then it's like, so I'm gonna be very wary of we in the future if we have like this public figure who's like perfect.
He's never done anything wrong.
Yeah, because then it's gonna be, it's like, imagine like Obama was that way, but we know he dropped a lot of drones and shit. But so there's not a perfect measure. There's not a perfect measurement there.
I'm doing something.
Him as a human being, and, you know, the moral implications of it. But in terms of him navigating, being a soothsayer for the country, you know, someone who brought the energy and attention down. Obama was a mediator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want a mediator at that type of level. You want to be someone who can calm the situation down, bring everybody down. The one we got right now is a true agitator. And I don't know, we kind of live in this space of like, so we want to say anything else about the social media and like clearly how it's like.
Well, I guess the next evolution of it is we have the social media players, we have those that are victims and those that are trolls. And the most famous troll of all right now, Tekashi 69, not looking great for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He released an album. I don't know if you
know.
guys knew this.
I think I might have heard something.
Yeah. I haven't heard any songs of it. It was reported that that he was gonna sell like a lot, probably around like 120,000, 150,000 in sales.
So I have a question. Like, I've always heard, as far as like being a celebrity, an artist, whatever, that like controversy, like any news is good news.
Yeah.
Like controversy is good as king. But like, how true do y'all think that is now? Because like with Tekashi, I feel like it was too much controversy, and for me personally, I'm turned off because one, the controversy way outweighs the good music, and two, it's just exhausting at this point. So I'm like, I don't care if it's the best. I don't care if he just made Thriller. Like, I'm not gonna check for it because like the social media antics and stunts is just way too much.
I'm not going shit on Thriller like that because Thriller is a perfect.
I'm just saying, like, he could have made Thriller on this next album, but I'm not checking for it because
because of who he is.
Whoever he pretends to be on social.
That's what I'm saying. He's just exhausted by his narrative at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also like you were saying too, with the people that are around you, and then why exactly they're going to be doing something. I mean, he's a perfect example of it.
We're waiting for the ending of his book.
Right.
We just skimming through chapters with that name.
Well, you think we're in?
I'm done with the book.
No. I know we're done with the book. That's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever you can hear. For instance, I just heard by word of mouth that he got an album out. That's me skimming a chapter.
Yep.
You know, I didn't really read that shit. It just a couple of things popped up, right?
But
that's a chapter skim. We all wait for the climax. Is he gonna catch one to the dome?
Nah.
Or is he going back to jail? It's either or.
He's gonna die like a rat, alone in.
Damn, what?
That was so like very accurate though.
Tell Jimmy Snakes I said bury him at the bottom of the cliff. He's gonna die like a rat.
Die like a rat.
I'm gonna play a little boy in the club because we do not listen to rats.
Yeah, nah, man. Like he wanted to take this whole narrative like, oh, I'm a rat. I'm the biggest rat snitch there's ever been. It's like, well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know.
Facts.
And that's it. You see all these gangbangers out here, like, yeah, you know, we hide in these streets. You also dying in these streets too. You think this is gonna catch up with you?
Yeah, and that's the only reason we skim it because the ending is in our mind. So it's like we gonna skim. You know, because it's like I said, it's like we were reading. How is this going to turn out? And then once
Right.
you got to that basic plot line of
That climax.
it being a remake, you now go like, oh, okay. Now you're just skimming and waiting for the eventual ending of the book, which is supposed to be you know?
When the other shoe drops, it's not going to be a drop. It's going to be a placement.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows where it's going to go.
Yeah, facts. 100%, man.
Nah.
With it, like, so like you said, so like, well, let's go back into this. It's interesting because I think I kind of want to structure our show this way, talking about these players. Like you just said, the victim and the troll, right? So who's this week's victim? Who's this week's troll?
Well,
like, you know, kind of
King
this
troll.
sort of I don't know, because it's like we have these different players at right now. We have the politicians, the media, I guess you can say the influencers, and the platforms that they all utilize in order to get and disseminate information and control the way we think, right? And marketing, controlling the way we think is basically just marketing. So I don't know. I kind of think like, because you know, we think of like the we start putting like some structure to it, where I think we will have a victim of the week every week.
I could give you one right now.
Yeah, and it's not to downplay the severity of it, that there's someone who's been a victim of something, but I think that at this point, for us to be shocked that someone was a victim of something would be stupid.
Victim of the week, Val.
Yeah, you can feel bad. I think the way in which we talk about like even the most horrific things is kind of really desensitized at this point, to the point where I think everyone should be able to just flow into these conversations more amicably now. Like, if you still can't have a conversation about racism, like, I don't want to be that mentally like constipated.
Trained.
I don't know what the fuck that is, where you can't like bring yourself to talk about anything. Like, whether it be a topic that you're just uncomfortable discussing, like, I don't like to talk about anything. I can talk about anything. Like, it's weird to me that, like, people don't want to talk about shit. I'm like, you do a little bit of research before you jump out there and make opinions on shit, but you should be afraid to, like, want to go into everything. So I think, especially when it comes to, so we name it Victim of the Week. We don't have to say that. We can think of a more jazzy or, because Victim of the Week does sound a little bad. Jazzy. I'm just saying, Victim of the Week does sound like, it sounds a little exploitive.
Troll.
No,
you know?
but
Troll of the Week was good.
What'd you say?
Troll, yeah.
No, Troll of the Week is perfect.
Yeah. But Victim of the Week, this is almost like we don't want it to be torture porn. Like or like misery porn. Like that's not the reason.
I think for me, a scaling system for it. You know, a Victim of the Week, a Jacob Blake versus a Meg Thee Stallion. Or
an Odell Beckham.
Exactly. Now, hold on. Let's talk about this shitty ass nigga. So, look. So, let's name the players for this victim.
Because
who's his troll this week?
I don't know their names.
Odell's troll.
But it's these three girls. One of them Chief Keef baby mama.
Who's Chief Keef baby mama, son?
So when I say who's been the troll this week, who's been Odell's troll this week? Like, I'm like,
it's these
who got him trending?
The Adam 22. There it is.
Okay, so that's his troll this week.
Yes, Adam 22.
Okay. So Odell's the victim.
We're gonna talk about him too, but go
ahead. A private, intimate detail about him was supposedly leaked. Now, this is another. I also have another thought about this. I think when it comes to sex-related acts, right? You will always be able to make something up because
there's no way to confirm or deny.
No way to confirm or deny it, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that Odell's gonna have to deal with a lot of women in the future who want to take a shit on him, but they're out there. Yeah, they're out there.
I just hope that's not like the bar.
Well, that's why I always say, like, if you have some strange predilection, I never understand. If you're really famous, just find somebody who doesn't mind. Okay, Louis, if you like to be out front of women, just find somebody who will mind letting you jerk off in
And
front of them.
that's
Like,
why,
you know, Sarah
that's why
Silverman
I
let him
think-
do it.
Not
Bro.
this movie.
Sarah Silverman let
And
him
that-
do that though.
Oh, word? She was?
Yeah, she came out. She was like, he did it in front of me before.
What's her
Yeah.
Instagram again?
She was like, I'm wasn't tripping.
Sarah But Sarah Silverman's always been one of those where it's like, yo, like you would be down to just do some shit.
She
I feel
quirky,
like
man.
genuinely it was like they walked into the room. He was like, "He masturbate." She's like, "Oh yeah, fuck it." Like that's how I think comedians' minds are so like there, because you have to always be in a constant space to think of like funny observations of society. Like, you always
Or
got
at
to be
least
thinking.
like the processing has to be
Exactly.
that much faster.
Exactly, man. So, but now,
Yeah.
like, so y'all think Tory likes to get shitted on?
Well, we talking about Tory or Odell?
Oh,
my bad, my bad.
Okay,
Odell.
because I was just like, Meg is called the stallion. I don't want to think about the horse. And
Ooh.
Tory tiny, man.
And
Is there a woman you would let shit on your
that's a
chest?
big shit.
Absolutely not.
Is there a woman you would let shit on your chest?
No.
Man.
Like, I'm just saying, like,
can't.
First off, women are disgusting.
whoa. First of all, let's do like, okay, not shit, but you know when they do that shit where they put the milk up there. Was there a woman that you would let spray the milk out? I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Hey, yo, Joe, you
That's,
want to talk about some things?
No. I'm
gonna get some things off your chest.
Nah. It's like, come on, like we not about to sit act like we ain't seen these videos online.
No.
When they
Like,
do that
No, I see the video.
It's like
Yeah, I
a
know
whole
what you're
website.
talking
It's like,
about.
what is it, like the milk shit? It's like milk porn or some shit. That's what it's called.
I was gonna say it's called milking, but I'm like, I don't know that. Because...
That's what I'm saying. But come on, Pornhub has shown us everything we need to see.
Oh, facts.
Right.
So I think for like,
Right.
I'm just speaking to like, is there like, to me, because I'm like, I was looking at her, I was like, she's not even that bad.
Nah, she's
I was
not.
like, but if you want somebody shitting, I guess you just like the shit. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, like it's
Because when it comes to freaky
far.
things, you know what's funny about freaky sex acts?
you want the act, not the person.
No. The act I'm willing to do goes up depending on who is with. Like,
Yeah.
if let's say Scotty B was like, let me fart in your face and you could beat the pussy up. I'm gonna get fart in my face.
No, right. That's a very minor, minuscule thing.
But
I
it's
will take
part of,
that.
but it's like a part of me understand it's foul, but it's something I would not dare do for any woman that I've met probably in my life. You know what I'm
not gonna do
saying?
that with no Woodbridge girl, huh?
No. I'm just thinking of like,
I
but just
just
think of
follow Scotty Bean because he said that.
Hey, look, as much as I love Scotty, I'm not risking pink eye.
You bad.
Okay,
I will take
but
it.
Hey,
But
nah,
this-
but
but
that's
this-
me.
but
That's
this
me.
is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm not saying I would do it legitly because you have to get there in the moment, right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is my willingness to give someone credence. I can see why you did that. You know,
absolutely.
just that level of it. Like,
Yes.
because for instance, I can't estimate your freakiness. Like, it may really get you going.
Look, I'm gonna stop
to
beating
do
around the
shit
bush.
that like if you might like to eat booty.
I will
right?
I will let her fart in my face if I get the box. Scotty Beam, yes, she's on that list.
but-
I'll take pink.
So that's what I'm saying. So when I hear things like this, and I go and I see the girl, a part of me is like, because I would never do that because it's just disgusting in my brain. But a part of me is like, if it's an act, if it's a freaky thing, right, that you're doing during sex, because now she was just like,
What has
it was a
compelled
sexual
you?
act for him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so part of me is like, yo, it's like she's not even bad though. Like she's not even like. So then I can't even think. Okay, so Tory I'm not Tory. Odell just like to get shitted on.
Yeah, you just want to shit on Tory, bro.
Nah, because I generally put all these niggas in the same like little
category in your mind.
These niggas that's always trending. That's what we'll call it this week. That's what's thinking in the segment. Niggas that's always trending. Niggas that's always trending.
Niggas be trending.
Exactly. Joe Budden, Tory Lanes, Odell Beckham. Niggas is always trending.
I think the funniest tweet I saw about that, this girl last year, she tweeted, "I do nasty things to this man," and then she retweeted that. It was like, "All right, maybe my kink level isn't as high as his. I retract
Trust
my
me,
statement." Like, you know what? That's gross.
Yeah.
I've heard Shorty say shit like, yeah, you know, if I like a guy enough, I'll let him do fill in the blank, son.
Yeah.
That's literally just how it is.
No,
Yeah, like I said, there's women out there.
That's
Like, but it's
no,
also what I was,
they really just like.
cause I don't think the girl let him do it. I don't think she did it. The girl didn't do it. I think she said she couldn't do it, right? So, but this is another thing I thought about. This might have just been how he chose to break up with this bitch. Right? Because it's like,
is true. You do say some wild shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so he's just like,
especially
yo, man.
about a joint you don't care about.
She was like, she asked him to like send texts of shit she took and whatever, right? And it's just like, I'm thinking if I'm a guy, I'm like, I really want to get rid of this joint. Let me ask some shit things. It's just, it seems really, it's like some dumb shit, and niggas like, yo, he's just like, yo, I wonder, how can I get rid? I don't know, because to me, I'm thinking also it's kind of just like some shit that you request of a joint, just so you know she'll say no and never want to deal with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
right.
it's like, so you never have to deal with her again.
Hey,
I can't stop.
This is mad toxic, but with
Scotty
my ex,
Bean
I
now,
would
so,
suggest restaurants she didn't like.
Hold on. Hello?
Like when you know she just like,
Yeah.
I know she not gonna want to go here. Now I'm gonna say it.
Nah.
So now I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah,
I would literally, matter of fact,
I'm
you're so right, because I would literally say phrases or do things that I know that like my ex-girlfriend would just get mad at me for, just because I ain't want to go there.
Yeah.
Right,
Whatever.
Like,
some movie.
Yeah, so like I said, so smaller scale things, but you know the sentiment I'm going for that he possibly could have been doing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Like I said, if it's
that is his business.
Man.
He didn't force us to know this information, so I'm not gonna be mad at him.
But it's the thing,
right?
the source herself is known for lying on niggas. So
Facts.
but this is also kind of what we're coming back to. Okay, so now if we took it as like she Tory Lane or Odell Beckham, I don't know. Odell Beckham tried to force her to shit on his chest, right? Odell Beckham tried now she's the victim of the week, right?
Yeah.
If she's the victim of the week, now the narrative that goes against her similar to the narrative. So Joe Budden is supposed to lose bargaining chips in a major deal because he's Joe Budden. She's now not credible if she is a victim of a situation because of her background, right? So there's ways in which it can work on all forces. Like, so it's I don't know. So like I said, it's gonna be very interesting. What narrative do you get benefiting you versus what narrative do you get destroying you? The energy of your narrative. Is it good or bad? What is the energy of your narrative? Good or bad?
Hey,
in this case, I mean, she was definitely
true.
trying to throw it on Odell's name because, like, what do you gain from that besides, you know, a small window of fame?
They were doing their podcast, so I think you get trending. You trend.
Exactly. So, and another thing, yo, is it me or do you feel like DJ Vlad, Adam 22, these guys are all in the same vein of they just benefiting off the culture, and by culture I mean hip hop. And like niggas is just giving them content for free for again that small window of clout, fame, trending, whatever. Because niggas be going on Vlad TV and be incriminating themselves on the reg, and they don't be getting paid to be doing them interviews, bro.
No.
Same with Adam 22. It just be a bunch of thoughts, and I don't even like using that word, but sometimes.
No, the
thoughts be up there.
You're definitely thoughty because. So there's a
thoughts.
picture. There's a picture that they took after the interview or before, whatever, like that. And I want to say it was Chief Keef's baby mom's, but she had these fake ass Christian Dior flip flops on, and instead of saying Christian Dior, it said Christian, but it was CRISTAN, and then Dor, DOR. Like it was just like it was all off. It was all off. It was like, wait, not only are y'all lying on people, but in order to be fake swaggy, y'all buying like the super fake shit. Like, what?
Do anything for clout?
I just wish, literally, I just wish
I
if
don't
you don't
understand
incriminate
clout,
yourself.
What is clout? Like,
Yeah. So
what
like I
does
said,
clout bring you?
I think those are like the because if you look at the Adam 22s, DJ Vlads, and it's like I saw an interview with Adam 22 on DJ Vlad,
Mhm.
and it kind of felt like when the older detective was talking to the younger one.
Cause they some cops, bro.
You know, like look,
Especially,
yeah, of course, like it's like you would have to it's to think that there aren't plants in every facet of our culture is lunacy. You would have to then, so if the FBI is going to plant something in the activist movement, the record label going to print something in your entourage.
but this is the thing, though. This is
Like,
what makes it even worse. Is the fact that like, niggas are going up there literally of their own free will and for free in general. You know what I'm saying? Like Vlad ain't forcing them, like, and they just spilling all types of
but this is what I'm
beans.
saying though. But it's like, well, we understand these are artists, right? So there's the people with some type of individuals telling them what to do. You know, they're artists. So someone's manager, roadie, someone, even if they're real small scale, someone's saying to them, "Yo, just do it. Do this, do this, do that way, right?" And the bigger you are, I think that those people just sort of turn into, opportunists. And it's like, so Vlad, of course, but it's kind of like, what level is his agency? Like, is he a real serious op, undercover, CIA, supplanted to always have this voice within the hip hop culture? It's just been working this whole time behind the scenes in all major conspiratorial events that have transpired through. How big are we going? Are we going to mega mine this motherfucker? Or are we just going to be like, nah, he has probably a small role in making sure niggas get locked up? I can believe that. Like, it's not that I have to give him the full villain laugh. I can just give him this motherfucker's in a position in which he's taking advantage of and been exploitive towards our people. And he might get kickbacks. He might get like, I damn sure know TMZ get favors from police departments because they be breaking shit. Like, I'm like, bro, like sometimes TMT will get something.
They broke Kobe.
Exactly, bro. It's like, I'm like, it's like something happens and a nigga, is there a TMZ app at the LAPD office? Like, these niggas have an app on their phone. Like,
it's, I forget what page I was following, but I think you suggested it. But a dude was just sharing information about a shooting or an incident that happened with police, right? The girl that recorded it messaged him. It was like, "Hey, take my shit down," and he's like, "Yo, I'm sorry, like, I'm just trying to spread information." And she's like, "No, I'm talking to the news about it already, so take it down. We got it from here." And it's like, wait, like, what's the point? What are we after here? I thought it was like social change so that people can know what's going on, so that we can spread information. Why are you trying to conceal it now? And then it's like,
no, she wanted her watermark in the video.
Oh yeah, no, she wanted that money.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like, I follow these blogs. Like, I always find it weird. Like Savoy Show, right? There's one blog I follow on IG. He'll put like his watermark in like tragic ass videos, and I'm just like, so that way, if the video, yeah, because if the video trends, they wanted to know it come from his channel, and he just wants traction back to his channel. It's like this very capitalism makes you do very immoral things normally. Because that's very fucked up. Let me watermark this video and brother getting shot back 7 times.
Right.
But
I hear that same thing about good.
Nah, I'm just saying. But you watermark it so that you get your traction for your capitalism.
Right. I hear those same type of arguments about like Sean King, that he prophetizes off of people's pain. But I'm like, But that nigga ain't out here throwing watermarks on all these shooting videos. I've stopped watching that shit,
Yeah.
but I'm like, you're not out here like watermarking.
But the thing is,
these
they're
shooting videos.
no, they don't. He doesn't watermark him. He doesn't try to get traction back to his page. He just does what he does. But the thing about him is he'll always get that because no matter what, he got 50 million in the Caymans from these black families that he don't rob. Like that's the narrative with him, and he's a white man doing it. Like Sean King is DJ Vlad to a lot of people.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
and
But
that's a good
no,
point.
they're
You know?
different people though. They are wildly different people.
they're wildly different people, but I think people look at Sean operating in a space he does and looks at it like you're
Like
you're always profiting from pain of these families. Like he's in a position where and I get it, like you the narrative against him has always been so weak. He's not really black, he's profiting off of pain. I can't give it credence, and because I understand on a macro level everything that's playing out, and a lot of people are narrow-minded sometimes, so I can't. I'm not about to. Okay, so you know what my timeline look like.
Yeah.
It don't look like what his look like, and y'all know what it's like to stay focused and keep your head and your eyes pointed at this part of our country and the exalted toll that could take on the spirit and the energy in the mind. So if you choose to operate in this space as a hustle, I'm not going to begrudge you because I understand that even the doughboy is working hard. You know what I mean? Like, if you, because to me, I'm like, I'm not going to begrudge it because, like I said, I don't, like, what is the, always like, so like I said, when I'm supposed to give a fuck about something, I always look at what is the weight into which it is affecting society or will eventually affect
integrity.
Me. It is integrity. It is integrity.
So where does it fall on Adam 22 and DJ Vlad? Like at what point is like, because Adam 22 could easily say, hey, like I just had him up here, you know, they said whatever they said. Vlad could say the same thing. But at what point do we say like, hey, they're coming on your platform, so you have to set some sort of standards.
But if you are a op, your integrity is to catch them.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think
it's not. You're not like if you're not, you wouldn't approach it from that way. Like, you know who would approach it? Taxstone would approach it that way.
Yeah.
Taxstone would say, "I'm gonna make sure I don't get you hemmed up in an interview," because he's from that life.
Yeah.
So his edict and his edict, the way he's structured, his ethics that he goes by, his codes, is going to make sure that that's not a part of what he's pushing. But if a part of your position is, I'm trying to get you to say something and send, like, to get you caught up, that's my agenda. So at some point, don't we just say, why do niggas keep on to DJ Vlad?
That's literally what I'm saying. Because I'm like, the Adam 22s, the Vlads, I mean, they're literally, like, very literally eating off these niggas that come to the show, in the sense that, like, Vlad gets money off of whatever views he gets from his YouTube page. Like, he's literally eating off that money. With Sean King, I'm like, yeah, with like a Sean King, I'm like, yo, it's not like, I really don't believe that he's the money he gathers to help these families, he's taking like I'm GoFundMe, let me get my 10% fee. Like, and to me, it's like difference. I feel like he could be in more spaces. That was his objective. And on top of that, is like these dudes, I do not think they generally care about the people coming up to their shows at all. Like the Vlads, the Adam 22s, like it's all just a business. No, 100%. It's like I said, that is a legit culture. It's the capitalism side of things. I was kind of thinking about this earlier. I think socialism needs to be in certain things that we assign a level of decency to. So, for instance, right, I think the medical field has to be socialist because we give them nobility. In a way, we kind of have a reverence for doctors. Yeah. Since we have a reverence for doctors, we're always going to assume that when we go to see one, they have our best interest at heart. But I must concede that if you prescribed over 6 million prescriptions to a town for Oxycontin in over a 2-year span,
You was just a pill pusher.
Right.
So and you had your pharmaceutical put you on the take. It's all good, right? It was a hustle. So if there's going to be that level of it, if capitalism is going to be allowed to invade that space, then I can't give you you're a doctor, so you're good. So if capitalism is allowed to invade the space of public protection, then I can't give you the credence of you're a cop, so you do this for the good out of your heart. I can't give you those things because the system in which you're operating in is still capitalistic. Capitalism, I think this society needs both of them. You need a place where it's just ruthless, winner takes all. You need, like, sports will always be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this franchise, Patriots got 70 Super Bowls, and this team got 3. So this team will have way more fans out here. They're going to get the nighttime games on Monday Night TV. There's going to be things that are catered towards them because capitalism dictates they're the brand that sells, markets, and does well, right? The whole thing with Joe Budden. Capitalism is dictating, Joe, this is your market share for this, and we can get you hit on the back end over here, bring you down a little bit, then now we come back and say, okay, remember the 150 mil we offered you? 120. You know what I'm saying? You can do certain, look at the football players, like you're an athlete, you do something, you hit your girl one night because of an emotional moment, or you might just be a piece of shit. I don't know.
Oh, you mean
but
Rice?
I know dang well when they want you to play, look at what happened with Antonio Brown. Had this nigga almost saying, I'll suck your dick to play. They got this nigga to the point where he was begging. They wanted to see Cap on his knees, both of them.
Oh yeah, nah.
But he was like, nah, I'm gonna just keep this one up for justice, right?
It's cool. Yeah.
So, but we saw them try to break that man and get him to capitulate to the system. So I think at those points, it's like, so I don't know.
I feel it though, cause I feel it.
Like, what do you mean?
No, I know what you're saying. Like some things just should be socialist in the sense that, like, yeah, there are certain positions that we just ascribe way too much power and leeway to, like doctors and police officers, when in actuality it's just another job and they do not deserve to be on any type of pedestal because you're doing a job.
I will put them there if they work in a socialist system.
Exactly, like doctors. I think
like if you work in a non-profit incentivized system, meaning you can only be as successful and rich as your merits and personal. Like I think you can always have, because when you put doctors, because doctors always say doctors don't want a public healthcare system because they think it will limit the profits they can get in that system, right? Yeah. So they're saying that they always want to have this tiered system so that there's a lot of people, so a lot of rich people paying, because rich people pay absorbing the price of healthcare too. Yeah. Like we could both put the same IV drip, bro, with the same saline in the same fucking bag. But you go to one hospital because the salines coming to you in this one room that's private, it's going to be $200,000 for your saline drip. Yeah. Versus, and your nurse is going to be getting paid. They doing the same shit. Right. There's only one way you can fix the body. Yeah. Right. Everybody got the same weight. It's like you could be in the bed next to 4 other patients, or you could be in your own suite. This is essentially our healthcare system, right? So I think if we just take away the suites and everyone just gets a room, you don't got to share, not 3 beds, because that's poor. Not the suite, because that's rich. We just all get a room. That's kind of socialism in a way, right? So I think
everybody's equal. Yeah.
They don't want that. They want to be able to go to the golf course with the BMWs and Beamers. I'm like, cool. But you still get those things because you still get, if you want the reverence of being it, because I don't want to give you the reverence if it's just profit for you. Like, then I'm like, because then I feel like a fool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to give you the reverence because I see how Ocasio-Cortez moves versus Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. We got to bring her up too.
But I see Nancy, you just been there so long, you getting the money, you just been chilling.
Yeah,
you take your tea times. You got your donors, you take your tea time. Like, I get it. You're oligarchy. You've been living, these like if we was back in old times, we would just be looking at their nobility. Yeah. They're the nobles. The nobles who don't give a flying fuck. They put the kente cloth on, they kept it pushing. Put the kente cloth on, they kept it moving. So okay, so I'm just like, because like then you say, okay, cool, the nobles don't give a fuck. But if we look at it in that way, then I say, okay, then that means your system is social. So that means we're going to structure so that you get paid the median income of your state if you're a senator, because that's a socialist method. We're going to match these. I just think we need certain systems to not be profit incentivized. Like movies,
Right.
like the movie industry will always be profit based. Toy companies. Um, I think we should put media should be socialist. Like I genuinely believe that. If you consider yourself a
The
media,
internet
Type of
should be
media.
socialist. The websites can do whatever.
yeah, I think it's weird. If I think service when you provide a service though, it kind of gets. There needs to be a system in which you implement it and put it in, and sort of have it be there, like where like you can have a visit to the doctor that needs to see you if you need to see the doctor with that skill set because your condition's that bad. Like if you have stage
Like
3
a
cancer,
specialist.
if you have stage 3 cancer and there's only 7 specialists that you can see within our healthcare system in America that have been known to treat these things successfully because of their level of skill as that doctor, and this system needs to be able to get you to those people. The only ones that they should be or can help.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if you have stage 1, then I think you can go towards the doctors who, not to say that they don't have good, but everyone doesn't make it. You know what I mean? And so I think you can have a ranking within these social systems that just lets you know the best options in your area. Because it's not like making the system social is going to get rid of shitty doctors.
Nah, because
You know, there's
C's
still
get
gonna be
degrees,
shitty
my guy.
ones. I just don't want you to be a shitty doctor who's rich as fuck, pretending to be a good one.
Yeah.
Like, because that's more detrimental. Like, you know, the imposters, we have to be able to kill the imposters.
Yeah.
Like, you want Ocasio-Cortez to be a public figure,
Yeah.
a politician, but you don't want. And maybe even when Nancy first got the job, she was real. But we know over time, the system became more capitalistic. Thus, she became a capitalist within that system. It's like when they got the news. It's like when they got the news about this pandemic. Motherfuckers went to the stock market. Oh yeah, move my 40 and then move my investments to, instead of going to the phones again. Like, oh, get some masks ready, get some gloves ready, get some.
Yo, what's the CDC doing?
Yeah, you know. So it turns out like the news broke this week that Trump was downplaying it the whole time and he knew it.
I mean, water's wet.
Yeah,
This is supposed to be breaking news.
Yeah, I'm just like, if there's, like you said, if there's incentive for you to make more money than the other person, like there's always going to be people who will take advantage of those incentives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't even really care what type of society you have, capitalist, socialist, whatever. Like, if you know I can get ahead, make an extra dollar than this motherfucker right next to me, and all I got to do is step on his head. People is going to start.
Well, that's why we don't mind unanimously giving love to the troops because they work in a socialist system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're a private, there's a certain level amount of headquarters you're allowed to have that they will provide to you. When you work your way up through the ranks, you can get, there's certain level of properties that you're allowed to buy. Like there's certain ways in which they've structured it so that the meritocracy of what you do elevates you within this system, but you all are still beholden and still responsible to the people and the government, right? And then, you know, hopefully not in 20, maybe after election night, they're going to have to make a decision. They're going to rock with the government or the people. But,
hey, look,
you know, that might be their first time having to make that decision.
One of the
coming up in 2020. But
in
theory, they're supposed to be beholden to us. And, you know, the institution, because I guess our Constitution is our contract with the government as the people, right? Even though I don't remember signing that shit.
Now the founding fathers signed.
Well, being born here is your birth certificate is your signature on it.
Yeah,
that's what they treat it like. So I don't know, man. It's like Wouldn't that be dope if we could sign up to? We could all wouldn't it? So wouldn't that be dope if we could sign up to whether or not we wanted to abide by the laws that was written when we was born?
Hey, yo,
We could be like, you know what? I'm gonna go 55 miles an hour.
we got premium American citizenship.
Yeah, I wasn't able to vote on these speed limits. You could be like,
Hey,
I'm
who said this shit? Actually, the speed limit shit in Virginia is it's a little wild. Like they reduce it so they can get more federal funds for road projects, and I was like, are you kidding me? That's why it's been so low for so fucking long.
yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
I
Skip
didn't
a rose,
even notice it was low.
yeah, Lon, like in other like California, like it should be high as hell sometimes. Should be like posted 80.
Yeah,
In a neighborhood.
Right.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Going where you go, nigga.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's why is people like, you know, that's why all these celebrities be wrecking their whips because they be going 50 around them corners and shit. Cause that's,
Yeah. Cali.
yeah, man. And it's probably like, it's funny though. They probably had safe speed limits, but so many rich people who had nice sports cars, like, yo, I can't really let this bitch go. I need you to pump that. And then they put so that's how politics works, right? Then they influence it to go higher.
Right.
Because they want to go faster. You know, this is a simple little thing they want.
What country is it? It's some European country, but the speeding tickets are prorated against your income. Yeah. So
yeah, like that.
Like, for instance, you got a little 2% of your income speeding ticket.
Yeah, like that. Like that meme has been going around about Kyle Rittenhouse being in juvenile hall when Khalid Browder was thrown in Rikers for 3 years over a backpack. Never charged. Like
backpack.
Just couldn't afford bail. So my thing was, it's like they wanted him to confess him to it. I guess he was charged, but he never went to trial. But my thing was they just had him locked up. He couldn't afford bail. Never gave him a court date, right? So that was, but they just did that to that nigga, like. And I think, you know, that's what a lot of this Reform Act is about, making sure they can't do that. Like, so if you do get arrested, what is something you can afford to pay to go home?
Hey, yo, do they even Mirandize people anymore?
Yeah, they do when they arrest you.
Rights?
Yeah, like, because I feel like they don't Mirandize anybody.
Well, they killing us, Walt. They just shooting.
Even the white people they're arresting. It's just like, yo.
They shot this 13-year-old boy with autism this week, white boy.
I'm not surprised.
His mom put the hit out.
So the police.
She called for help. I was like, damn, lady, you trying to get your son killed.
Wow.
She said she called for help. She was adamant. But I'm just, like, it happens so much. But I'm like, look, man, at this point, be aware. Like, you might be calling the death squad for your family member.
But at what point do police officers look at themselves and be like, nah.
Okay,
like,
but
we got a problem.
But at this point, you must concede, we're just calling for a guy who's scared to show up with a gun. That's all we calling for. Like, these niggas don't solve crimes. 2% solve rate on all major crimes across all police departments.
And you know what? That's what we should advertise to police. It's another scared person with a gun.
It's like it genuinely is, bro. It's like,
don't call the police.
That's what it is. Like, if you logically think about it, they don't, ration and reason is allowed to go out the window once they scared.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed to dump and kill anybody they want once they scared. So to me, I don't want to call you if you get scared. Like, that's why I need to be able to get on the phone and be like, yo, you got any officers who don't get scared? Like, it's just not fear just doesn't exist in their heart at all.
What's his scare level at? Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. We need a
scale of 0 to bitch nigga.
No, right, look, that's like, what I'm saying. Like, for real, we need to put, like, test out. We need to make sure that they can go. Like, we need to that these niggas get on all the roller coasters.
Right, like I need
you
to
go
watch
to all the scary movies.
Like,
exactly.
Do not flinch.
Scary house. Maybe hit them with a little waterboarding. You know,
hey, just a little bit.
I don't know what we gotta do to make these niggas just still like. No, I really want you to be so cold blooded with that you just so gangster that you need a nigga to put the Glock in your face before you get nervous. Right. Like I need that.
And even then, like I need you to talk him down.
I need you to be like the nigga in the movies to be like, you know how to bet, you know the superhero in the movie, he always be talking shit with the glizzy. Just if I get out of here, you don't want me to get out of these bonds. I'm like, nigga, he just put you right.
Wait, honestly, I think that it's gonna sound crazy, but I think they should actually raise the income for police to $75,000.
I think they should just take guns away from them.
No, because I saw what that can do. And white boys, you think the white police officers are crazy? Waco, that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, white motherfuckers that aren't police are wild. They're gonna go batshit.
No, I think in order for you to have I think your gun can't fire. I need your gun to have a biometric scanner in it that detects your heart rate.
So if it's over a certain BPM.
So I really want your gun to only be able to fire if it really detects that you fear for your life.
Okay.
Like, because if it doesn't detect that you really have fear in your mind or heart, then I don't want it to be able to not pull the trigger. Because sometimes I be thinking these motherfuckers be acting like they scared. They just know what to say and shit. They look for a window. That cop who shot Jacob Blake was looking for a window. Dude, what do you mean? They can tell. They can fucking tell.
No.
Your veins in your. So it's obviously some technology that needs to be invented.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because if it's a biometric thing, all right, if we go on heart rates, right? Everybody has an Apple Watch at this precinct or whatever like that. Dude, if you're running after somebody, all right, and if it goes off of beats per minute, and you running, you really sprinting after this motherfucker, all right, you stop, your heart rate is still elevated, so the gun is.
I think if you're already,
it's like
if you're chasing the person, you're already not going to kill him. I don't know. Most of the cops I've seen, that's like most of the cops
someone
I've
is
seen
running away from you, they're not
because they don't want to chase these niggas. Like
no, but like we've seen videos of cops chasing after people. Stopping
I get what you're saying. Let's look at Rashard Brooks, right?
Exactly.
Rashard Brooks, right? I think that in the case of Rashard Brooks, if the gun, like for instance, the gun in the scanner, so detecting the biometric scanners, you've already had your heart rate, you've already wrestled with them, so everything's already going up, right? Everything's already going up. To me, I think that in that situation, your gun would be available to you. And the only reason I say that is this, right? I can give credence to the officer to a certain degree, but because I saw the full escalation of the situation, I understand that it didn't need to get to where it got because of the circumstances. You could have just sent the man home. Like, that's what I look at. The need for you to always, like, you said dance for me, boy. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, you really you trolled him. You made him do unnecessary movements. You played with this man for 20 minutes, had him so fearful at that moment that he made an irrational decision and decided to book. Because, like, once again, why are you arresting me after all this time? We seen the video last week. Motherfucker drunk, hit the joint, 3 cars, and just went home.
Just walked away.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, we understand that situation didn't need to go to that level. But I'm not. I understand to the level to which the officer, you wrestle with him, whatever, and you're already in a nervous state, and you right? But I don't get it. Like, he's running away from you. Like, that's the only thing I know. But that moment, rational decision making just has to come into play. Because once your heart rate's already up, your gun you get access to your gun. Yeah. Like, I'm cool with that being the stipulation, but I still think we have to have people who have a rational sense about them in these situations. Like, I need a motherfucker who really, his heart just ain't, no, he's just not a scary ass nigga. Like,
how about this, man? Okay, so fuck the biometric shit. Fuck the raising their salaries. How about we just do it like they do it in Australia, where they just ban assault rifles for everybody and just make it harder. Like, just simple
That's not
shit.
American, though. We want to have...
and that is the fucking problem. Like, it is just too damn easy. Like, I really feel like some political pundit. But, like, yeah, really, just make it so it's not so goddamn easy to get a fucking gun.
Yeah,
like, then you gotta worry about,
we got 3D printers making these joints now. It's too late.
Right. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too late. But
those disposable, like, one-use joints.
Bruh, like, talk about...
got guns and vending machines.
Got disposable guns.
What? Like, how many freighters are bringing in guns?
Yeah. How many freighters are exporting them? We make those, baby.
Right. Like, Smith & Wesson.
Gun factories
known globally.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People think about a gun. Once it's a gun, it's a gun. It just got to go where it's got to go. Nas got a whole song about it. It just travels. Like, a gun's a gun. Like, once a gun exists, until it breaks, it's a gun.
It's a gun. That's it. That's
Like,
the only thing.
it can always be used as a gun. Just needs a bullet.
Mhm.
No, it's not like it's not powered. It don't got a battery in it. It's a gun. It's got mechanisms that make it go. So it's like it's like one of those things that it's a tool for murder. I get it. Like, there's simple solutions to all these things, but once again, we got to work our way through the fact that everything has become so non-simplistic because of capitalism.
Yeah.
And people make too much money from selling these guns. The only thing we selling is guns and porn.
Facts.
That's all we got for niggas. It's OnlyFans accounts and
or
Glocks.
at least like what Chris Rock said. Make these bullets expensive, because a gun is a gun, but a gun needs ammo.
Yeah, a gun doesn't need ammo.
Yeah.
You can make a bullet mad expensive, but then it's just like,
can you make a bullet inexpensively?
But yeah, I mean,
probably, man.
Because then you just gonna have niggas figure out how to make a bullet. Like, alcohol is like always been something. I get why alcohol is a thing that's legal. It seems like it's like a complex thing to go through the process to try to make a beer.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get to certain machines. You know how the process is. You got to filter out the. It's a lot to make a beer, so you gonna go buy that. But if you tell me weed legal, I'm gonna just plant some shit in the backyard and get my green thumb going. So it's an industry thing. It's about what type of industries can you control, right? Because once you legalize, you tell me I can have a farm in my backyard and just grow my shit. But then you say, no, it's against violations of grow. You have to have a grower's permit. Okay, so that's my contract with the state now. That's the payment.
Right.
I pay my grower's contract. This is how they get their cut. Cool. Churches don't got this. I think they should though.
It should be the same way with police officers. If you have any kind of report on you, there is a national database that is entered into, so that no matter where you transfer to, if there are more than 5 reports against you from a different precinct or from a different county, you can't work in another county. Like, you have to be retrained or recertified. Well, see, if that takes 2 years for you, so be it.
That's why they always try to. I realize this, man. When you downplay the severity of a situation, you take away the resources to resolve it. So when you don't have a society that is full tilt, full gung ho, racism is high level danger alert, like red level. Racism is at red level. Always been at red level. Always been at red level, right? If we can ingrain that into a society, then you can shift and start to change it. If we talking about moving a collective, nigga, we won't focus on climate change until the water's in your house. Mm-hmm. That's the society we live in. You ain't gonna focus on the guns until you in a shootout at the mall. Like, that video I showed y'all with these niggas in Atlanta, did you see that shit?
I started watching like this.
Bro, watch that joint. That shit was crazy, bro. But I get it. It's like having a cell phone during the Wild Wild West or early 1800s New York when all the mobs and gangsters was out. It's just that. That's all it is. It's like people are like, oh my God, black. We always get into our feelings. Black people, we got to do better. Stupid shit, right? But then I see it as just like, no, this is the most American thing in the world. Just we got phones on this shit right now. Niggas sitting there had the Glock, young, and they just talking shit. Shorty had her joint too. And they just talking to each other, talking shit. And then the niggas just walking with the joint. He got it in his head. He got his finger tree. I'm like, yo, this shit is just in front of the building, right? They're out, guns is out. And then the nigga walk up, and then they just start shooting, bro. He dug behind the whip, but she dug with him. And they both just like this. I'm like, yo, this shit is a full-blown shootout just started. Like, I've seen videos of shootouts before, but this one started, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I seen the beginning of it. And that's what I'm saying. Like I was watching it, and I knew what it was, but I didn't think the ending would be that. Mm-hmm. Where it was really going to turn into a shootout. I thought it was just going to be niggas posturing.
It's when you take the pre-workout, and then you're like, oh, shut up. This shit work. You're like, oh damn, I didn't know it was gonna work.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know, man. It's like I said. So we're just seeing that shit. It's like I don't know if I tell you guys, but Birth of a Nation, one of the most impactful scenes in that movie that I always tell people is when Nat Turner was getting taken to the other plantations. He had been treated. I guess you could say, no worse than a migrant worker nowadays at his plantation, bar, being a slave. But he hadn't been abused on a high level like that. But when he went to these other plantations and saw these slaves getting abused, he realized how fucked up all the shit was. So basically, his grass was greener on his side. But once he started traveling around and seeing that it wasn't, I always tell us, I was like, if you draw parallels to today, our version of that is the cell phone. These videos reveal to us that it's still not safe for us in a lot of sectors of this society. We kind of just get by on happenstance, but the percentages are getting higher in every level every year, and your chance of running into a Karen is going up exponentially. So it's like, we've had run-ins. Lou had a run-in with a Karen this year, or a Becky. Was it a Becky or a Karen, Lou?
Based on her age, she was more of a Becky.
Yeah, so a Becky. So, and you know what I'm saying? I've had a Karen at work. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like she was the head of HR. Let me stop. Let me stop before I get in trouble. But
that's important, my guy. No. The head of anything cannot be a Karen or a Becky or any of that shit. No.
Fortunately,
many of them are. Well,
yeah.
They walk,
you work
HR.
They walk among us. They walk among us. So I'm just saying. But but I think the phone is not us going to the plantations. We've been living on ours, being treated fairly well. Maybe we got to deal with a couple of motherfuckers staring every now and then. We out with a snow bunny and some extra shit. Or you doing something where you like, say you in the store and maybe we were younger, a couple people got followed here. We've had moments, but it hasn't been bad on our plantation. But then with these phones dropping, you see the Tamir Rice video. Oh shit, his plantation wilding. So now our brain turns into the gnat, where gnat's like, yo, we gotta get out of this. So that's why this layer of activism has been activated amongst us, or at least the mentality anyway. Because it's like, Martin had to wait before he crossed the bridge for the press to show up the next day. Part of him was like, yo, we crossed this bridge and we don't get his ass whooping on camera. They're not going to believe us. And he waited for them cameras to be rolling to get that ass whooping. But he knew what was going to happen. He went out there and his true hesitation, he knew he was sacrificing lives when he crossed that bridge. I don't know if he thought he himself, he was a king who walked amongst the men, though.
How do you tell people that they may die here at the beginning?
It's funny, though. I think, like I said, if you're down the street, right, and you see, I remember Angela Davis talked about violence and, the bombing of the girls in the church, and she's always baffled how white people can bring up violence. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this famous clip of her talking about it. What was interesting is I don't know if we're so necessary. I don't think we're desensitized to the violence so much as we're in the process of getting used to seeing all of it. Because it's kind of like you can't really be desensitized to something that's not a daily part of your day. You're desensitized to violence if you live in Chicago, South Side.
Yeah.
You're desensitized because it's a part of your daily life. We're not desensitized
like if
to
you've
violence.
lived in it for long enough.
Yeah. We're not desensitized to violence. We just deal with the ebb and flows of seeing it. Because if true violence visits your doorstep right now, you be lost.
Right.
Because that's how comfortable we've grown up. You know what I mean? We've seen violent things. We've done a part of violent acts, but the desensitization, it hasn't been enough to desensitize us to it. It's not a daily thing for us. It's not constantly hitting us over the head. So with these social media apps, what they're doing essentially, they're just exposing us or getting us used to seeing it on a visceral and daily level. So I think it's like it's expediting a lot of growth in us on a good and bad level. Like, so whatever was in you is just, everything's just going to be brought to the forefront and put on Front Street, right? So I think that's been the 2020 year of exposure, right? We've seen every shitty healthcare system. We've seen how shitty it is. Police officers, we've seen how shitty it is. Like, you know, this year, defund the police, people are like, and a part of me is like, yeah, bro, defund them. Like, nigga, they don't do anything. They really don't. Like, think about it. Some already fuck with you. Then you call them. They show up. They might be able to get your shit back. And are they gonna install it? Like, for instance, if you had someone beat you up and you want to press charges, like, send somebody out to protect the psychiatrist who's going to talk to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or you just need a really, like Walt said, you talking about $75,000 a year. That means that's 4 years of school to me.
Well, exactly.
A higher level of education. Like,
you raise the bar for everything.
Like, I don't mind if you've had to have 3 years of psych. You've had to have a full course, 8 years of education before we give you a gun to go solve people's problems with a gun. Right. Like, we're not giving you any other tools but a gun. So like I said, I get it. We just sending scared motherfuckers to a place where they could die with a gun. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they show up and kill everybody? Like, that's all they got. You didn't give this man any other skills in his tool belt but a gun. You gave him some de-escalation training, but nigga, what if it's already escalated? Yeah. What if it's on 10 when I show up?
Right, you know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's like, and then it's like you de-escalated with the provocation. Okay, you might show up and you might be on one, but he may have been beefing with his girl already for the last hour. She done called, locked him out the house. He beating on this door. He ain't really trying to hear, sir, calm down right now.
But Lord forbid you have a similar situation going on at home. Because you're just gonna empathize at that. You're not even gonna look at it like a police officer. You're gonna look at it like Brad.
Yeah, but even if you don't, like,
Brad is angry at Emily.
Yeah, facts. But the tools that get there, you know what I'm saying? The tools would be like, sir, yeah, she ain't about to let you in, dog. It's like, just you just want to pull up, be on the
television. Pull out your empathy belt, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, just pull out your empathy belts and be like, yo, bro, I've been there before. Yeah. My girl just kicked me out the house this morning. You know what I'm saying? You on 10, I've been on 10. Like, let's just bring it to a 5.
Honestly, and then it's like, I kind of want the. Have y'all seen the anime Psycho-Pass?
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking about the gun earlier. I was talking about Psycho-Pass.
Okay, word. All right, that makes sense. I want to do the reverse though. Like, you know how it's the officers are able to see who can who will go insane in society and prevent them from doing crime. It should be the reverse, sir. Who is going to be calm during an intense situation and able to de-escalate, and they are the people that can become police officers.
Yeah, that's it. But that's rigorous training.
Yeah, I mean, but there's something in you where, like, there can be chaos going on. Somebody could scream fire, right? You in a room with 150 people and everybody start running. And then all of a sudden you step up. You're like, all right, half of y'all go over here, half of y'all go over here. All right, we need to, like, you start organizing, becoming a leader. All right.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like these niggas that turn into a full shootout, they knew what to do. Like, no, the nigga ducked back his joint and the girl ducked, and they had to bounce with it, like the low bounce and the aim. They was popping up, dumping them, throwing back down. I was like, I'm not doing all that when guns is flying. At most, I'm gonna be hiding behind the whip. Like,
oh, I mean,
I'm gonna be this nigga. I'm gonna be this nigga.
Understood. But we need to find we need to find the people that are going to let the shots ring out. All right. And at least know that there's a camera somewhere. So we're like, all right, if we chill out, that nigga's probably gonna get into his car and he's gonna peel off. And I know what kind of car he's driving. I already peeped it. We just need a picture of the license plate. That's it. All right.
Yeah, because once rigorous training. It just comes with more rigorous training.
Man, that's all.
But like I said, but that's why you gotta get rid of everything that's in there. It's like people thinking about, like, and Sean King making this point where it's like he was saying, it's like you can do temporary things to repair. And you all right, Walt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you can do temporary things to repair where it goes in, like, where it's like if the system is designed to work a certain way and you're seeing bad things pop up. But he said the system was designed to work this way. It was designed to just break us and destroy us and maim us, right? That's what it was designed to do. So he's saying, nah, we gotta gut this whole thing out and then restructure it from what we're talking about, where it may turn into you have, and this is why I say social system, where let's make a full-fledged, and this is kind of going to swords and stickers a little bit, Luke, but let's make a full-fledged academy for law enforcement where we send kids from birth. Not birth necessarily, but
that shit gonna be toxic.
No, not necessarily birth, but I think it's like
you send them at a young age.
That we have them already. We have West Point for the military, where you send these young kids to become strategists, tacticians, and learn military codes and ethics across. And then some of them graduate, go on to do George and Clapper America, or some of them join the military. But there's academies that are structured to give them the credence and nuance to see things in a certain way in these institutions. Now, they've always been the best? No. But we get that there's something there for it. Police don't really have that. They have an academy they send you to, then you come on, you kind of tail around, learn from the people that's there, but you might be learning toxic ways. I would much rather have it be where you have a certain set of institutions across the country that you get the creme de la creme of police officers from. Just like, you want a doctor from Harvard. I want a police officer from Harvard. I want, and then it's like, and once again, I like school socialist system. We got to get rid of the profits out of school. Got to kill them. Like I said, anything that I'm giving, like teachers don't, and it's funny because teachers really don't get the reference that they deserve. So I can't really fault them for being capitalistic with their shit, but they're not. It's weird, man. It's like police get the reverence that teachers deserve, but teachers really do a lot of work and don't get the love. Like, teachers don't get free donuts at Wawa. Like, or coffee because they parked on the street.
I don't even say it's a month. There's like a week. It's Teachers Week.
Or benefit of the doubt.
Oh, fuck that. That's even worse.
Think how many parents think it's the teacher's fault their kids ain't doing well. Teachers don't even get the benefit of the doubt. Like, and you gotta look at the unselfish nature to become an American teacher, bro.
There was a show that Loretta Devine did a few years back. Somebody posted a clip on Twitter. But it looked like some like school board meeting, and she was just laying into everybody in the room. She was like, "Yo, show me a teacher that hasn't gone insane, and I'll show you a teacher that wasn't working, that wasn't trying." It's like, and half the shit, like we deal with your kids 8 hours a day, and because when y'all send them off, y'all just think, all right, it's the teacher's job, and half the time what we doing is just parenting, just straight up, like. Right, and I saw another video today. It was it was during Zoom. Some kid just told his teacher, "Shut the fuck up." I was like, what? Right? I mean, we laughing at it now, but it was a class going on. Right, it was a whole class going on. He was like, "Yo, just shut the fuck up. I'm tired of you. Like, you annoying. I hate your voice. I just woke up. I'm tired."
You have Tourette's.
You know what the teacher said? The teacher said, "Hey, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna remove you from the class right now. I hope the rest of your day gets better, all right? And we'll talk about this later."
That motherfucker should be a cop.
Right. Everybody else in the class was silent as hell, and and he was just like, "All right, cool."
But that individual can't be a cop. That's not the cop. That's not the way. I told you.
He needs to be a teacher.
Remember we talked about the aptitude test?
That de-escalation?
No, the aptitude test though. The aptitude test that they don't look for those type of people to be police officers. That's the problem. They look for like people who fit.
Oh yeah, I know.
Thinking process. So I get what, like, to me that's what I'm saying though. But it's like
it can be.
I want that person to want to be a police officer. Like, I think the police officers need to add that.
That's what I'm saying.
They should add that level of value to our society that I literally don't feel. Like, I genuinely don't even know why they're here. Like I said, they don't prevent crime, and they only solve 2% of all the crimes. They commit crimes themselves. They get away with those crimes, and like I said, I don't know. Like, there's no accountability for these niggas. It's like I said, it's just it was built this way, to operate a certain way. They're accountable to lawsuits, and really only rich
Are
people
they?
can afford lawsuits. And to a certain degree, like they're not gonna. If you're a kid from a well-to-do family, the cop ain't gonna really. You gonna think twice before he put his hands on you, because he understands there's gonna be some consequences and repercussions that come his way in the form of a lawsuit, not a civil suit, a lawsuit.
Uh,
Meaning,
mm,
we just got these attorneys on your ass. These families, these poor families, they win civil suits. Where it's like they've seen that the cop has done something in dereliction of just human decency and right and wrong on some level. Financial compensation should be had. But I'm talking about a lawsuit where it's like the cop is like, look, I'm talking about a family that can get you locked in legal litigation to stall your life, nigga, where you just can't do nothing because you got to pay for lawyers and do all these different things. And certain families can stress these pensions out. If you Bill Gates, nigga, shit. That cop put his hands on your kid, nigga. Man,
but most
you
people
stress the whole PlayStation.
are. Most people aren't even like Robert Downey Jr. level rich. Like,
No, they're not. But it's also by the cachet factors though, like influence. It's like I said, it's always that double edged. The thing we're always working against was just perception. If you got the perception, like I said, that's why I was mad about the Kyle Rittenhouse most is like AR-15, 17-year white kid, man, that school shooter all day.
yeah.
How y'all gonna keep telling us like y'all profiling us? And I'm like, no, nigga, y'all not profiling. Y'all just racist. Like it's not a technique. It's just racism. That's all y'all is racist pieces of shit. Like stop saying, well, according to certain looks that the Trey gang is over here and they look this way. I'm like, no, nigga, that's never been. No, niggas is over there. That's all you ever cared about. Niggas is over there. So stop with this profile shit because Kyle Rittenhouse was school shooter look 101.
Oh, like a T.
And had just shot somebody and y'all walk by this nigga. Like, stop. Just stop. Tell me you fear for your life. What do you mean you fear for your life? No, nigga, you racist. Fear for your life. That's the number one. They got bodies, bro. Kyle Rittenhouse, a school shooter, nigga. Yeah. They got bodies, bro. You know what I mean? Dog, come on, let's be real, son. Kyle Rittenhouse standing there with his AR-15 in the middle of the mall. We just gonna walk by that shit?
No, I'm walking out.
You was in a crowded place. You was in a crowded street, yo. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like the way that they're trying to make it so that visual isn't supposed to be terrifying to us.
Right, because he's a white man.
Not even that. It's the fact that
y'all killers.
They keep saying he was provoked, like not even knowing or ignoring the fact that like he wasn't chased until he had already shot one motherfucker to death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I just
see him on the phone saying, I think I just killed somebody. Right. But nope. Good old Kyle. Just
working that burger hard. They gave him tastes good.
Oh, yeah, man. He probably got a steak, gang.
He's going to have to be in isolation.
Bro, is he?
He can't be in Gen Pop.
Oh, they got some areas in there. Look out
for.
Yeah.
They got some of these neo-Nazi groups in that joint he rocking with.
Oh, facts.
So it's like you know.
Also, he's not in jail either.
Did y'all see that report that they're trying to downplay the severity of the domestic terrorism extremists from white supremacy? They've gotten directives from the White House to not investigate it.
Yeah, man.
The Department of Homeland Security. So basically, like I said, when you downplay the severity of a situation, you strip away the resources to resolve it. That's what they're doing with this. So it's kind of I was kind of wondering how it takes place. Like, so you've had the when Jeff Sessions got there, he fucked a lot of shit up with the Justice Department. That was a beneficial that Obama had put in place in terms of them being able to go to these local municipalities, do some investigations of their own. Their jurisdictions got more restrictive under Jeff Sessions. Their abilities to go in and deal with local cases as a federal entity were limited during Jeff Sessions' reign there. Kind of came in, gutted a lot of those things. Kind of, took it back to the way the good old boys like to operate.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, now you start to see a lot of these things. That's why you can't have certain people jump into the Breonna Taylor situation and other things along these natures, right? Because they got rid of those protections that Obama put in place to do those things. And what's interesting is now they're stripping away the resources for the people who may be in the departments who are just, those good, decent people who join for a good moral reason to do the right thing and to make it a better society. Now those people are going to be tied behind their back because, once again, you downplay the severity of something, you limit the resources to fund it. So once you can downplay that it's not important over here, it's not important over there, let's just break it up into sectors. So the red states and the red municipalities, now you got these politicians who can just say da-da-da-da-da. I'm starting to see how the media and none of that has been seen before, but the inroad roads and the clear indicators on the level of dehumanizations that's been done, the constant proliferation of it that we started out the show talking about, and just sort of like how you can get to the ovens. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I see how you could get to ovens, like in terms of Nazi Germany and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see how that could potentially transpire, but it's not. The ovens are just an analogy for something else in some way, shape, or form, because I kind of wonder if social capital is such an important thing going forward, the ability to kill your social body will be just as important as the ability to do physical harm to your real body. So the oven may not necessarily be we're taking people and physically burning them alive. It may be we are taking this group of people, labeling them terrorists, so that we can do anything we want to them legally and justify it through the media, which is kind of our system. So it then turns into unnamed prisoners, people getting pulled into unmarked vans. Do we really know what happened to them? Were those people even really citizens? So if you show up on the street and you grab a random protester and people just assume it was a protester because somebody there with a sign, but really it was somebody you planted out there to grab and make it look like you took somebody off the street. So it's just a subversion of the media in a way. It's going to play its tricks on us. So at some point, you want the white person to be convinced that we're at the door with the chopper ready to take it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because our lives matter. So that's why you got that was what those two white people said when they went out there on the lawn with their guns when the protesters came by. So you see those little things of like those little symptoms that are presenting themselves, you can see how bad the disease could get. Mm-hmm. Like, when you see it's like that's not going to happen in 2012. Yeah. Like you need, that can only be a 2020 thing, if you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. We weren't ready for it in 2012. The disease wasn't where it needed
time
to be.
To cook.
Too much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Too much melanin running shit.
Plus, on top of that, everybody thought it was going to end in 2012. We thought all of us was done. And when the whites realized, we not?
You talking about the
back to these
calendar.
blacks.
Look, that might be why they voted for Obama. They was like, look, by the time we get to the end of this 4 years, it's over anyway. So they was like, we might as well give a nigga 4. Then he won. That's when they really was like, damn.
All right, caramba.
We got to get back. Call Trump. And a nigga tweet for 8 years. Where's your birth certificate, nigga?
Right, like, talk about good old boy. Like, this man is harassed.
Birth certificate.
Harassing.
But that's white people, like, I get it, man. In their brain, like, that, I told you that birth certificate is our signature that we're going to follow the Constitution. Like, so what if y'all used to be slaves? We wrote it out. Y'all, I don't get why we be listening to anything in this bitch, bro. I really don't.
it's gonna
Think
end
about how
up
we
turning into
started.
a white
I'm
Christmas.
just trying not to go to
Nobody's
jail, bro.
gonna
That's
be
really
like,
it.
For real, dog. Like,
look,
I'm
just
kind of
throw
on
these
some. How
crooked
dare
ass
y'all
cops in the
even?
jail. You know
How
what?
dare y'all even arrest us?
I would think that the cops that are in control, like the ones that control the unions and whatnot, right? You would think they would be like, ah, nah, we gotta throw some of y'all in jail just to keep, like, just so that it don't get too hot on us, you know?
Nah, it's
They
like
got
once again,
absolute power.
that's what it would have
Nah,
to
because
be.
like if you really want the power, because it's
But
not like this
that's
shit is. People aren't just not gonna kill cops one day. Like it's gonna get to a tipping point where somebody's gonna be like, nah, I got the numbers, I got the
100%.
names, I
We
got their
talking about,
homes.
dude. White
Yeah,
men killed
we
like
slaying.
no. White men
They
have killed
kill
like
cops
5
now, bro.
officers since George Floyd died. White men, military
Yeah.
veterans, have killed police
Right,
officers.
right. Like so, I
There's
don't
doing shit,
understand how
bro.
those.
Actually, that's an important fact too. Like it is mostly white dudes, and again, it'd be like ex-military motherfuckers for some
Mhm.
reason. Like let's not just
Because
skip over
they
that.
realize what they're fighting for, and they understand
And it
that
ain't shit.
everybody in this country they're protecting. If you're
Yeah.
American, hey, I'm protecting you.
Look, and I'm doing it
Yeah,
the
no.
American way. I'm about to
Yeah.
start shooting back, nigga.
Right, like my roommate, he used to be a cop, but
Yeah.
he also used to be a veteran. Like, or
Yeah.
he is a veteran. Like he was in the military, and he said he was like when he was a cop, he was
Mhm.
nah. He
Yeah.
said he couldn't do it.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's why I need that video that I showed earlier, that shootout. We need to take more of that, besides more from that than the ignorance. Black people, we need to be prepared for the shots. When you
Yeah,
shoot your gun,
yeah,
get behind the car,
yeah.
because bullets is coming back.
No, you always get some cover, and you always try to see if there's a vantage point. If there's higher ground, you take
Yeah.
that shit. Look,
So,
Star Wars was on to
That's what I'm
something.
saying. You paint Black Lives Matter on the street. We're gonna call the cops on you a couple times this week. Karen's gonna do that a couple times. You're gonna see couples on the line with the Uzis drawn. Because we took shots at the system. We're telling them to defund it right now. So what I'm saying is, we know we got to gut it, and as a process of us going towards gutting it, what will the reverb of that be? That's all I'm saying. Because we changing the system. Because like we can't sit here and act like we don't got the simple thoughts. Like, why don't you just make it this way and then work this way? We've been talking about this whole time. It's so simple. We not the only ones that see it. We got a whole generation of people like us that see it that way.
I've seen it.
So we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep moving that way. So as they lose their identity of what they think is right, you know, they will start to do what they've always thought is right, which is oppress. And when they start doing that at a high level and with the efficiency with which they know they can operate this engine, then we're going to have to prepare to duck behind the whip.
Look, and make sure you duck behind,
duck
the tire, because a lot of people don't like that little gap right there. If somebody is smart, they're just gonna shoot underneath. It's gonna be your ankle.
Now look at that video. There was no. I think one person kind of stood there when the gunshots start going off. Don't be the nigga that's just standing there when people are like, nigga, bullets are real.
And bullets don't care.
No, not at all. Bullets don't give a fuck. Bullets is killing children every week. Yeah. And it's like, one thing is, you know, and it's like I said, a dude went into a school, killed all them kids, and they was like, we got to keep the glizzies though. I'm like,
just because one individual killed a bunch of kids doesn't mean we're all gonna kill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, come on, son. That's why you buy the 50 Cent. That's why you buy that 50 Cent song. My gun go off. You mean Rednecks was in the farm bumping that joint with the joint really going on? Like, my gun go off.
They love gangster rap.
Oh, they love it to death. They love it to death.
This is the same country shit that they doing.
But see, when you live in a society where your narratives don't work against you, you know, because that's how you know it's white supremacy, because Trump's narratives don't hurt him.
Again, realest nigga ever, son.
Yeah, but it's like, his narratives don't hurt anything he wants to do. No matter what institution's angry at him, whatever, it doesn't hurt because the white supremacy is so strong. He's good.
And he's got the money too. Let's
I want to I I want to go to a rally and like if they ever have like a portion or at least I want to go to a Trump event where they allow Q&A and then get up to the mic and just call him a bitch. I want to do like you a fucking bitch.
They will beat
Oh
your
no,
ass.
that I guess I'm fighting that day.
That might
You got
might
the
be.
pussy on you.
I wonder if you
It
get
might
like
be the worst decision of my life, but I would love to do it, man. Like I just
Hey.
want to because like somebody just needs to step up and just like, hey yo, you a bitch. Like you a fucking asshole. You a not even an asshole. Like you just
I feel you.
like,
I just want a moment, a moment of honesty with him.
right. Like,
And I've often
you
had
gotta know
thoughts
you a
of,
bitch. You
I've
gotta
often had
know.
thoughts of slapping fire out of him.
Right? Yes.
You know,
Yes.
just the
something.
he reaches for the handshake and it's what did 5 fingers say to the face, nigga? Just, I mean, I'm talking about one of them good joints too, where you could like, where this nigga hold, you know that jowl shit he got, that shit just jiggle. You know, all that shit just moving and shit, yeah. Get it in slow motion. You see this, you know that face he made with this face like this and shit. Just get that, all that shit.
Honestly,
and I
if
want
that
my
shit
hand to
would've
just
happened-
come across the whole swath of this nigga's side of this nigga's face. Like, I want everything to just be that, like, just all that shit.
No, you know what I want? I want a
Anime
white woman to
slow-mo.
do it.
Yeah.
I want a white woman to slap Trump and then be shame on you. Oh, because
Oh, man.
I want that image. I want that image. Huh? Shame on you. Shame on you, sir.
That's one of those people where like it would just be too easy to shoot him. You know, like a jail. I'm like, no, I want to see him like beaten to like an inch of his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jump Trump.
Now he need to get the Gaddafi, young.
You need to get curb stomped like on some real shit.
Nah, man, Gaddafi got it bad. They stuck poles of this nigga's ass and shit.
Hey, look, they should bring back lashings.
Yeah.
You bring back public lashings. Hey, we're not gonna have politicians like this again.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When I look at Trump, I want to lynch me a nigga.
That nigga.
I'm gonna add that
I say we
are
bring
specifically
back.
talking.
We bring back. Oh no, Trump's a nigga. We said this before in the podcast. In case you don't know, Trump is a nigga here.
Facts.
The only one we've ever seen.
Hey, facts.
So
That's it.
we didn't know what one was,
Real
so y'all
estate.
put him in office. You showed us what a real nigga truly is.
Like a real nigga, just
Real. So like I said, when I see Trump up there, I'm like, yeah, we need to bring back lynching one time. I think honestly that's a good book. Let's close racism that way. Let's just lynch Trump. And we can just put the clothes on.
racism is over.
Yeah. It'll be the last public
You know what's gonna be
lynching in
interesting?
American
Honestly,
history.
but you know what? That would be a powerful image. Like, look, racism died in whatever year. Former president.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real interesting to see how like how they report on him once he dies. I really want to see if CNN has the balls to say anything like good about this motherfucker. Like honestly and truly.
Yeah. You know what I hope happens?
What?
I just hope they just let it scroll at the bottom of and never talk about it.
At the ticker.
Just let it be in the ticker and never talk
Former
about it.
President Trump dies at the age of who gives a fuck.
I think I really want that to be everyone just says it. Don't say anything. We should say he died, what age he was,
It's like, okay.
how he died, if he died, you know.
Did you see the new partnership between China and India though? That's gonna be the headlines. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
No, the new headline is gonna be what's happening. Pakistan and India finally decided to be friends. That's
They
gonna be
one
more
country
important than
again.
Trump,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The Koreas are back.
The Koreans are back.
Oh man, I got it even better for you.
Oh,
It's raining outside.
Oh, bet, man.
Like,
Look,
Have
You got
seen
real-
the
you got
sunny
real
day?
stories
so
to get to,
I
Walt.
gotta go deal with that.
You got real stories to get to. It's raining outside.
It's raining out.
They could be like Trump last night died mysteriously in his sleep. Honestly, bro, I'm like, y'all treat it like Epstein. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Media, he says,
really
media
Honestly,
had three.
that would that would probably make his soul come back.
You ain't got.
If it wasn't reported on, like if it wasn't like if people didn't care, like oh man, his soul would be like stink meter. He'd come back just to cause chaos.
Ain't no soul though.
Ass, knuckles. Yeah, I think we can wrap this joint up though.
Yeah,
man, it's been a good one. It's been a good one.
Cry myself to sleep.
Starting to get really like the flow is getting better.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, man.
Yeah,
you know, we keep going at it,
getting better,
man. So let's go ahead and wrap this joint up. All right, this has been a TWEOM podcast. I'm your host, Joe Morris.
Favorite host, Louis the 15th.
And it's the best looking host, Walt Red.
Y'all niggas just switch your shit up.
See, look.
All right, peace.
Look, you want to add favorite host? Yeah.
Nah, shut up.
Bet. All right, that's what we're doing.
Thanks for